Hey fam, welcome to Sweat Smart. I'm grateful to be on another video with you guys today. And let me ask you a question. Should you train in the morning, or maybe in the afternoon or evening, or should it be late night? You will find the answer by yourself at the end of this video. Let us get to know what actually happens when you exercise. What I mean by that is the acute responses or the small changes that occurs in your body physiologically to create the environment for you to exercise. First of all, the most visible thing that you can see is you start to sweat, right? So when you start to sweat, it is an indicator that your body is getting hot, or the temperature of your body is rising to create that optimal environment for you to exercise. So your body release more sweat to cool your body and keep the temperature at that optimal level. That is a part of thermoregulation. Then your heart rate rises and your blood flow increases. You can also observe that your breathing rate starts to go up. As we have already looked into what are the changes that goes through in our body whenever we start to exercise, let us break it down into two times of the day, morning and late afternoon to evening. So first, let us look at the benefits that you may obtain when you train in the morning. After you wake up, which is most probably would be a morning, your cortisol and your growth hormone, these two hormones are actually elevated in your body. So what happens, or what is the environment that is being created by these hormonal changes is that when you train during these times, you have a higher tendency to burn fat as your fuel. When I say burn fat, burning fat will not necessarily contribute to losing more fat overall. The moment you wake up, the last thing you want to feel is feeling tired, is not feeling enthusiastic to go through that day and stuff like that. What you want to feel is you want to feel happy, you want to feel positive, you want to feel active and ready to hit the day, right? So when we train in the morning, when we train, generally endorphins are being released, right? Endorphins gives you this positive, happy, joyful kind of stress relieved feeling to you when you finish your training or when you exercise. In a routine perspective, you may want to train in the morning. Why? Because you can at least get it done and you don't have to think of any other pressures that may accumulate as you go through that day. Because many tend to forget, or even many tend to lose their willpower to actually exercise by the end of the day, because they have a lot of accumulated pressure with their work and everything that you would go through in a day, which contributes to you not exercising. So having an endorphin pump in the morning would be a great strategy for you to tackle your day. Now let us talk about the benefits that you would obtain if you train in the late afternoon or evening. So if you are that person who train in the evening, first, our body temperature has a rhythm to it. It actually goes through troughs and peaks in a rhythmic manner throughout a 24-hour period. Okay, so this body temperature, our body temperature, actually peaks at around this late afternoon or evening. Approximately would be 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. It differs from an individual to another. So the approximation or the estimation would be around that time. So that's when your body peaks in its temperature. So why do we have to worry about, not to say worry, why do we have to even think about body temperature? So if you know, when our body temperature is high or is at the optimal level, our enzyme activity increases, our muscular activity and performance increases, our reaction time will be fast, and even during these times our oxygen uptake kinetics is actually faster. So if you look at the whole bundle here, it looks like it is a starter pack, or it is the pack for you to actually exercise, for you to actually train. Am I right? So it is true that in the evening or late afternoon, your body itself prepares to go through physical activities. Why? Logically, if we think back during 5,000 years ago, were we still here? Maybe 1,000 years ago, when we were not as civilized as we were right now. Our ancestors used to go out during this daytime, and they were really active during this daytime. Thus, naturally, our body's circadian rhythms contribute towards those stuffs. The best advice that I can give for you guys in terms of training time: train as long as the sun is up, because naturally that's when we were supposed to be active and we were supposed to be doing physical activities. For those who train at night, for those who don't have any options but to train at night, try to finish your training at least 3 hours before your bedtime. Why am I particularly saying 3 hours? It is because your melatonin secretion elevates at about 2 hours before your bedtime. Try to stay away from stimulants, which is normally would be a caffeine intake. Try to stay away from caffeine intake at night or in the late evening because it may also disrupt your sleep. Those who train in the late evening or at night, sleep would be a factor that you would want to look at. If you can tackle it down, then you have no problem training at night or in the late evening. So do you remember that responses that we talked about earlier in this video? So whenever you train, you would want to suit those timing with those responses. You do not want to get alert, you do not want to let your sympathetic tone rise up when in natural rhythms it should be low. And this usually occurs at night, where your body is preparing itself to sleep, but you disrupt it with exercises. The best training time for you will be the time that you can consistently exercise every single day. So would you want to train in the morning, evening, or at night? It is your choice, guys.